I sort of taught myself Avid quite early on, and I've always used it. I don't have to think about it. It's like a kind of extension of my own hand sometimes. Hi, my name's Brenna Rangott. I'm an editor, and I've been nominated for my work on True Detective Night Country, episode 6. When I read this script, I was really intrigued about it being set in Alaska in a long dark night, and that really intrigued me. But of course, obviously, the main part was that it was a whodunit, and it's a great mystery. But it also had, I liked this sort of balance between, what is real and what isn't real, that balance between practical and rational versus supernatural, and how to kind of balance those things. Yeah, sort of dancing between that sort of atmosphere and the eeriness, but at its core, it being about the journey of the characters is what I love the most about it. I mean, obviously it's the finale, and it's the episode where everything sort of comes together and you get quite a lot of answers to the questions. I mean, there was sort of very intentionally quite a lot of things that we left ambiguous for the audience to sort of decide for themselves in a way. But it was also the episode where, we've been on this journey with these two, ostensibly very flawed characters that have got their own past traumas and their own background demons that they've been fighting with the entire series. And this is sort of the place where they find, for lack of a better word, a form of enlightenment. And they start the series as kind of bitter rivals. And I think what I sort of loved about this episode most, that this is the moment where they come together and they really find common ground. I found out about the nomination. I was actually on my way home from work. I was a bit late, and I knew that it was being announced, but I actually found out from Blake, who's one of the producers on the series, who just knows absolutely everything, and she's across everything. I got a text from her that just said, "Congratulations!" with an exclamation mark, and I just wrote back going, "What?" And then, my phone started sort of buzzing, and my agent called, which was really nice, and then I sort of sat down and sort of looked at all the other nominations we had, and I was so thrilled for my other colleagues that we got so many nods. I was really pleased. The biggest challenge in getting the episode to work well was, episode 6, it's entirely set in Salal Station, which was very much baked into the script. So, hats off to Issa for writing such a good script. But we spend quite a lot of time with those two characters inside Salal, and they're stuck there because of an outside blizzard. So it was about sort of maintaining a lot of keeping the interest and the momentum going while it was just pretty much two characters in one location, albeit a very big location. It was a lot about balancing between reality and what is actually happening. And there's a lot of this kind of sort of cross-pollination of imagery of their past traumas, where Navarro is kind of having her own experiences and Danvers is as well. And it was about getting that balance right while still following their character arc. The other thing about episode 6 was there's a big sequence at the beginning. They're in the ice caves, and that was actually a production design. Really well done. It was in a studio. But it was essentially sort of, I guess it was probably 20 metres of ice caves, and we filmed them sort of coming back and forth. It was about trying to build in that sequence the sense of time passing, and this idea of that it was a really long journey that they were going through all these caves. That was quite a challenging part of it. Tools in Media and Composer that helped me the most was, specifically in episode 6, was because they spent so much time in ice caves and in a big, empty, booming Salal Station. I really liked the track. I always use the track effect of reverb, where you don't have to render anything. You can just drop clips down onto it, and everything gets you can sort of set up a really good little reverb. So everything's got that echoey feel. It made everything feel like there's so much more space. If it was studio, it really helped with that sort of stuff, and it was much easier to do. And then I'm always a bit of a fan of a split screen. There's a really wonderful scene when Danvers and Navarro are sitting by a fire trying to keep warm, and I think Navarro's just had a quite an extreme kind of supernatural experience. And they're sitting by a fireside and all of the two shots are all dirty. So I always use split screens to be able to sort of cut out so I can have two different reactions from, so if I've got Navarro and Danvers in the same frame, then I can play with the timing of each character. So that's always really useful. That's one of my go-tos. Knowing media composer in my career, well, it's pretty much been my entire career. I sort of taught myself Avid quite early on and I've always used it. I don't know how to answer that it helped me, it just has been my career because I've known it, I guess because I've known it and I don't have to think about it. It's like a kind of extension of my own hand sometimes.